Ukraine's armed forces have said Russian occupiers in a city in the southern Kherson region are telling locals where to evacuate in the event of a breakthrough by Kyiv. The claim by the Ukraine's general staff comes amid a counteroffensive launched by Kyiv's forces, which is believed to have started on June 4th and is aimed at recapturing occupied territory. In an update on Wednesday, Ukraine's general staff said that in Henichesk, a port city along the Sea of Azov in the Kherson region, collaborators receive SMS messages with detailed instructions and coordinates of evacuation points. This information is causing panic, the statement in Ukrainian added, according to a translation. The city had a pre-war population of about 18,000 and has been the administrative regional center for Moscow's occupation since November 2022, after Russian forces withdrew from the city of Kherson. Ukrainian outlet Ukrinform reported the update, saying that Russian occupiers are actively disseminating information about evacuation in case of a breakthrough by the Ukrainian armed forces. It comes as British defense officials said on Wednesday that Russia has been building defensive lines in rear areas, especially on the approaches between Kherson and Crimea. These included an extensive zone of defense, 6 miles long and 2 miles wide, north of the town Armyansk, on the narrow bridge of land connecting the occupied peninsula to the Kherson region. Russia's efforts at building such defenses suggest that Moscow considers Ukrainian forces capable of directly assaulting Crimea, and the Kremlin sees controlling the peninsula as a top political priority. On Tuesday, Ukraine's general staff said that its forces had conducted offensive operations on at least 2 sectors of the front, on the administrative border between the Zaporizhzhia and Donetsk regions, and in the western Zaporizhzhia region. The Russian Ministry of Defense said Tuesday that its units of the eastern grouping of forces had repelled 4 Ukrainian assaults in these sectors. The day before, Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar had said Ukrainian advances had been made difficult by Russian forces. However, Kyiv has said that current Ukrainian operations were not only intended to liberate Russian-occupied territory, and that it had not yet started the main phase of its counteroffensive. Glenn Grant, a senior defense expert from the Baltic Security Foundation, said Ukraine needed to concentrate its tanks in one place to make gains against Russia, and he was concerned they were being too dispersed. "They are spreading the butter a bit too thinly than is really needed," he told Newsweek. "The main counterattack has not happened yet. What they are asking themselves is, where are the gaps, where are the weaknesses, and can we break through first before we commit follow-on forces?" he said. "The main heavier units have not appeared yet. Yes, we have seen some Leopards, but not in big numbers." Dmitry Muratov, Nobel Peace Prize winner who auctioned off his prize and donated the money to Ukrainian refugees, spoke at Global Media Forum. He shared his vision about the current situation in Russia.
Поскольку слово «война» в России запрещено, а слово «ад» еще разрешено, я буду пользоваться словом «ад». Специальная военная операция продолжается, но многие ее итоги, как ни странно, уже понятны. Я несколько этих итогов вам назову. Никогда больше Украина и Россия не будут вместе. Никогда эти народы не будут братскими народами. Тем более, когда один брат считает себя всегда старшим. Еще один итог. У нас совершено в России великое географическое открытие. Если вы еще не знаете, я вас сейчас об этом уведомлю. Россия больше не Европа. Окно в Европу закрыто, и на нем установлены решетки. Еще один итог. В России произошла смена Бога. Российская православная церковь поддержала специальную военную операцию, и она начала пропаганду смерти. Думаю, что заповедь «не убий» скоро будет признана глубоко ошибочной. Смерть за Родину, а не жизнь за Родину. Вот новая религия. Только одна цитата. Попробуйте ее понять, я вас очень прошу. Только одна цитата деятеля церкви. Он объясняет матерям, почему они плачут, когда им привозят тело убитого сына. Пока понятно, да? Протоиерей Васильев говорит: если бы вы не пользовались контрацептивами, то рожали бы больше, и ребенок у вас был бы не один, и не так страшно было бы с ним тогда расставаться.
On June 20th, at a military panel, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu began threatening strikes against decision-making centers in Ukraine if the Ukrainian armed forces struck the territory of the Russian Federation or occupied Crimea. According to our information, the leadership of the Ukrainian armed forces is planning to launch strikes against the territory of the Russian Federation, including Crimea, with HIMARS and Storm Shadow missiles, Shoigu said, reported Russian media. The use of these missiles outside the Special Operations Zone would mean a full-fledged involvement of the US and Britain in the conflict and would entail immediate strikes on decision-making centers in Ukraine, Shoigu warned. The Russian angry patriot Igor Strelkov sarcastically criticized Shoigu because logically, based on the minister's speech, the Belgorod region and the regions occupied by Russians are not considered Russian territory, as they have already been attacked. Sergei Kuzhugetovich, a man of great intelligence, sneered. Why do you think our plywood marshal is so concerned about Crimea? Because he, as well as his family and friends, all have property there. Real estate, a lot of it, in the tastiest places. And he has no property in Valuiki, Shebekino, Grayvoron, abandoned Kherson, Donetsk, or Lugansk. If he had any property, he would also become nervous and threatened, sometimes going so far as to use the rhetoric of the main plush hawk of the whole Russian Federation, Dima Medvedev. In this connection, I have a suggestion. Whoever has and who does not feel sorry for it, make out a deed of gift to his daughter, Sonny, or at least son-in-law, for a land plot in Shebekino, a house or flat in Leninsky district of Donetsk, and a dozen or 2 hectares near Berdyansk and Genichesk. And you will see that Russia will immediately extend to these territories, like it is extending to Crimea now. In the meanwhile, the need to protect the entire territory of Russia by our irreplaceable and non-alternative, almost like the sacred Minsk agreements, defense minister is perceived very selectively and abstractly. According to investigation by the Baza Project, a close friend of Russian Defense Minister Oleg Belovensev, who potentially took part in Russia's seizure of Crimea in 2014, has bought real estate on the peninsula for around 1 billion rubles. Belovensev, members of his family and associated companies own 4 houses, 9 apartments, 7 flats, a cottage in an elite district, 2 monuments, a boarding house, a workshop, and trains in Crimea. Strelkov is one of the few who dares to criticize Putin and Shoigu personally. He has also created a club of angry patriots, where he and his supporters systematically criticize the Russian military leadership and Putin himself, calling them a country of pink ponies.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.